Good morning. I believe it's the 27th or 28th?
28th.
It's the 28th of December. Oh my. It's a balmy negative 10 degrees outside. Windy today. As you can see, I am not in my truck. I had a really awful night's sleep. Not really due to anything. Baby was a little fussy. You were a little fussy last night. But just couldn't sleep. And kept stoking the stove because it's so cold here. With the wind, it's going to be something like 40 below. So we made the decision early this morning to not work today, and that's a seldom thing. We're pretty tough guys, and we don't mind going out there and doing our thing. I mean, that's part of the business. Part of the business is toughing it out and dealing with the inclement weather. It's how you make money. It's how you get ahead. But we're not bad off. We do pretty well for ourselves. So we felt it was all right to take the day and stay cozy. Gonna hang out at the house for most of the day with my lovely wife and my baby. Middle of the day, I'm gonna go visit my buddy and look at some photographs from years past. His family has been logging and in the tree industry for decades. I mean, they were cutting when people were using crosscuts still. So we're gonna look at some photographs of some jobs they've done and some other stuff. I'll try to get some up probably on my Instagram. My Instagram is treelife89, TREELYFE 89. I had to spell it differently because somebody apparently already has the regular spelling of life in their screen name, but whatever. I'm on there. I'll try to get some pictures up there. I post pictures on there whenever I can. My vlogs recently haven't been consistent because I've had an odd work schedule as far as, not a lot of time in the morning to do what I want. But that's part of it. Whatever, right? Just enjoying a nice warm cup of coffee. Amber's buzzing around the house, doing her thing. There she is. Yeah. Anna is wrapped comfortably in her blanket and her bouncer, because regardless of me having the stove going and the baseboard heat in the house, it is still cold in here. So, just laying low today. I'm okay with that. Bless you. It's funny, we've been cutting this timber that's so big, we've been feeling unaccomplished in our work. And it's funny because you only cut if we'll say 15, 20 trees in a day, and you feel unaccomplished, but then you realize how large the stuff is that you're taking. I mean, one of the trees we took yesterday was over 4 feet in diameter, and that takes time. That takes time to fell it. It takes time to get it out. Luckily, like I've been mentioning, we call it Sheffield pine. Down in Sheffield, we're blessed with the pine not having big limbs and leaders on it, so it's not really a big. It's not a lot of work to process it, but it's a lot of work to get it out. Because we're not just logging that area. We don't clear cut. We do selective harvest. So we're trying to preserve everything in there that we can, and we always do. I think that's the biggest difference between us and the guys on the West Coast. Those West Coast guys are cutting, 5 million pecker poles. They're tall, but they're not great in diameter, and they're clear cutting. They're not trying to preserve anything. I think people get a misconception about what real logging is. Real loggers are devout conservationists. I've said that before in a vlog. You know, they want to go back. They want to keep working that land. Just like hunters are typically the biggest conservationists. You know, they want to keep the land safe and preserve it so they can continue to enjoy their passion. You know, it might sound selfish, but all at the same time, it's really not. Preservation is important. Preservation is key to everything, and human beings as a whole are now, unfortunately, now just realizing that. But you know, it's a thing getting those big trees out. You know, we got a grapple skidder that we're using, Franklin Model 170 with the dual arch and the big. It's got a big grapple on it, and that one biggest tree was so big that we couldn't take both pieces of it at the same time. We had to cut it in half because it was over 120 feet long when it was on the ground. So we had to cut it in half anyways just to get it out. Just monstrous white pine, and very little of it's rotten. You know, a lot of these big trees, when they get real big, those white pines, they get red rot. But these are beautiful timber. So yeah, we were feeling unaccomplished, and then at the end of the day, we look at we have two piles. One pile where the logs are bucked, and they're available for the log truck to come in and get them. They're right by the road on a nice flat area where the truck can get in and not get stuck, and the driver doesn't have to stress out, because that's no fun anyways. You know, I don't want to stress anybody out. Nobody likes to be stressed out, so we always try to do our best for them, especially if we're not hauling the log. The job is actually for a local log yard owner that we're very friendly with, and gives us a lot of business. He's a great man. So we have the pile of bucked logs, you know, that are cut to length and cleaned and trimmed beautifully, and they're ready to go. And then we have a bunch pile that's off to the side. And yesterday, between what we bucked from the previous day and what we got out, there's probably another 15,000 feet out on there, you know, in a day and a half, you know, because of the diameter. It's the diameter. You know, we're not doing quantity as far as, you know, how many trees, but we're doing big volume in the fact that they're large diameter. These suckers are clear. We're going to get good money for them, which is nice because typically the white pine market is, they don't want to give you anything for the white pine, you know. The hardwood market here is very good. You know, we're getting good money for any clear hardwood. But we'll take what we can get. We'll take what we can get. We're doing this job for a really nice lady. Like I said, the log buyer, obviously, we're going through him to do it. But the lady, her house is right on the property, and she is such a sweetheart. She came over to us the other day. We're halfway through cutting that biggest tree. It's hysterical, and her car is like right behind it. So if anything went awry, you know, she would have had a pancake car. But we're pretty good at what we do, so I mean, we weren't concerned. She comes over and she's Roger says, do you want to take a minute to move your car? We're not offended. And she says, hell no, I've seen you guys put those big trees in the smallest spots. She says, I've been watching you guys since you've been in here. Not worried at all. That was a great compliment, especially from somebody who, you know, she may or may not have a vast knowledge of what we do, but that was nice. It's here that somebody was confident in our abilities. Big trees. I mean, all the stuff in there. There isn't a single tree in there that's under 2 foot. I don't think that we're harvesting. I mean, when you're two-siding a 28-inch par, yeah, it's big wood. You know, it was a hell of a thing. It really was. Oh, I'm gonna enjoy the rest of my coffee. Hang out with the baby and mom. 'Cause they're over there. Look at my Anna Banana. Anna, can you say hi to the camera? No, Dad, I'm not paying attention. I'm touching Mom.
Say hi anyway. You're launching your pinky.
Yeah, she's such a cutie. I got lucky on that one. She's a beautiful baby and she's a good little girl. Alright. I'm going to be out for the day, I think. Just figured I'd do a shorty. I was going to post one I did the other day, but it was really just me rambling and moaning and groaning about things, so I decided to delete it. I don't feel the need for any negativity or any, anything like that in my vlogs and on my YouTube page. I'm about positive, no moaning and groaning. Yeah. Just going to enjoy quality time today. You guys stay warm. I don't know where you're at, where you're watching, but it's cold, baby. It's cold. Oh, at least it's cold here. I'm sure you guys down in Florida and in Texas and, out on the West Coast might be enjoying better temperatures, but we are chilly here. It's muy cold. So I'm just going to kick back by the fire. I'm going to cook me some eggs. Enjoy some time with the baby and the wife. Alright, guys. Stay warm. Be safe. Wear your protection equipment. You've heard me moan and groan about that before. Just do it. Alright. Take care. Be well. Stay warm.